All right, so most traders, when they buy a prop firm challenge, they're only looking at two numbers, right? They're looking at how much it costs and what the size of the account is. But that's not what you should be looking at. So for this example, I'm going to use Topstep and FundedNext as our case studies, right? FundedNext has a $25,000 account. Topstep doesn't. But Topstep has a $150,000 account and FundedNext doesn't. So we have a good range of pricing, and then we'll show you the calculation you should be using to decide which one you should purchase. So right off the bat, each one of these accounts, right? When you see 25K, 50K, 100K, 150K, that's not the size of the account, right? And so the first thing that you have to understand is that these numbers pretty much don't exist. What you're really paying for is access to drawdown, right? And drawdown, in simple terms, is just the amount of money you can lose before you fail the account, right? So even though it says 25K all the way up to 150K, in reality, if you're only allowed to lose a certain amount, that's the size of the account. So let's look at the numbers. All right. So for FundedNext on a 25K account, really you're only allowed to lose $1,250, right? So you're paying $99 for $1,250. On the 50K accounts, both Topstep and FundedNext, also you can only lose $2,000. Now, there is a difference here between Topstep and FundedNext with the $100,000 accounts. Now, for Topstep, they're giving you a $3,000 drawdown. For FundedNext, they're only giving you a $2,500 drawdown. And then, of course, on the 150K account with Topstep only, it's a $4,500 drawdown. So essentially, this becomes a leverage equation, right? For example, if a broker gave you 100-to-1 leverage, that means for every dollar you spend, you get access to $100 worth of buying power, right? So if there's a position that normally would cost you $1,000, you're only paying $10 to execute that position. And so essentially, these numbers now become a leverage equation to see what's my buying power of these evaluation fees, these challenge fees, right? So here's the calculation. What you're going to want to do is put the drawdown over the cost, right? This will then give you a multiple that tells you for every dollar you're spending on a challenge, you're getting access to X dollars. And the one with the highest number here essentially is giving you the most leverage, the most bang for your buck. All right, so we did all the calculations here. And what you can see is clearly 15x multiple on your money is going to be tied to the 150K account with Topstep, right? Coming in second place would be the 50K account with FundedNext at a 13.3x multiple. Third place would be the 25K FundedNext account. And then, of course, bringing up the rear, the 100K Topstep and the 50K FundedNext. Sorry, the 50K Topstep and the 100K FundedNext. Yeah, got that backwards. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, then I'll just go with a 15x multiple on my money, best bang for my buck. You could do that. There is one other thing to consider, though, right? And I don't want this to get too crowded in here, but for each evaluation, you have to make a certain profit target in order to pass, right? And so for the 50K Topstep, you have to make 3,000. For the 100, you have to make 6,000. And for the 150, you have to make 9,000. All right, now for FundedNext, same thing. You have to make 1,500 here. You have to make, this one is 3,000. And then for the 100K is 5,000. So the last thing for you to consider is what's the ease of passing as well. Let's start at the highest and move backwards. With a 150K account, you have to make $9,000. Really, you're getting access to a $4,500 account. That your drawdown is your account. So essentially, this has to go up to 159,000, meaning you not only have to double your starting balance, you have to 2x your starting balance. Does that make sense? You have to make $9,000 or $9,000 worth of profit, meaning you have to get 200% on this 4,500. The same is true for the 100K account with both FundedNext and Topstep, because even though there's a different drawdown number, the 2,500 FundedNext account, you need to make 5,000, which again is a 200% increase. And the 3,000 drawdown Topstep account, you have to make 6,000, a 200% increase. If you look at the 50Ks, they get a little bit easier, right? Instead of 200%, right, from 2K to 4K, it would be 3,000 in both instances, meaning you'd have to make 150% on the drawdown. Is that making sense? Right? You'd have to bring this 50 up to 53,000. So doubling this plus another 50% of the starting balance. Now the 25K account is interesting, and ultimately the reason why I went with this one is because in order to pass, you need to get this 25K up to 26,500. And with a starting drawdown of 1,250, that means you just need to make 100%, right? You need to double the 1,250, of course, plus an extra 250, which is 20% of your initial drawdown. So we're looking at a 120% increase versus a 150% increase versus a 200% increase on these larger accounts. So you decide for yourself. First, run the numbers. You can do this for any prop firm. The drawdown over the cost. That gives you a multiple. You decide if the multiple is decent compared to the other options you're looking at. And then you look at what the profit target is and say, do I have to make a 200% return, a 150% return, a 120% return, and weigh the two. And from there, you'll be able to find what the best bang for your buck is and what the ease of passing would be. Like I said, I ended up going with the 25K FundedNext account. I don't have a coupon code or anything like that for you guys. FundedNext, hit me up if you want to give me a voucher or something, right? An affiliate code. But let me know if you guys want me to break down different prop firm rules or anything like that. Like, subscribe. We'll see. See you guys next time.